3 will be out in the summer.
Which is now, like next month.
Let's
Okay, ish. Next 2 months, right?
so in the summer it will be out version 3, and then one of the updates will be Hold 2D.
Okay.
And there's an interesting plugin on the internet, a sprite one, where you make different sprites. You know what I'm talking about, like a character standing and then shoot maybe.
It's like $100 or something, though, isn't it? It's cheap though.
Very cheap, and they have the enhancement pack. Have you heard of that from the Unity? I use that a lot. I love it because.
What is it for, sprite integration, or what are we talking about here?
The enhanced pack is not for the sprite, but the one for sprite. If you have your different sprites drawn out,
Yeah.
you just can integrate them right away on the grid. With the alpha channels working, and bang, you can do it for 2D games fully. Unity.
Okay.
I don't know what you mean by getting in 2D games. I mean, there's all kinds of tutorials to make 2D games in Unity right now.
Yes, but they're going to really make it optimize possibilities for it. Yeah, because at the moment you have to work with a lot of scripts. It's basically making a 3D game still, and you try to lock out things.
Yeah, you just lock an axis.
But also
Yeah.
sprite triggers. If you think about, say, you attended the special effects, you know, basically where you're taking, you know, the equivalent of particle and assigning, you know, an alpha transparent series of raindrops and that kind of thing. So it's probably a good.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. They don't show anything from it. I don't know, but
I'm making some assumptions.
that is the weakest point from Unity, is the 2D, because we know there's a lot of 2D games out there. You cannot compete that, deny that. When we look at the other engine, the other cheap engine is called, if you get the name now,
UDK?
oh, they are kind of afraid of that, I think. They're very strong, very good.
The pricing stinks.
I never checked the pricing out.
Very expensive.
It's free unless you make more than $5,000, and at that point they take 25% of everything you make for UDK. Until you
That's
hit
a bad model.
until you hit a certain point, and then they take more.
They take more the better you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's bad.
For indie developers, if you're not going to make a lot of money, it's great for you. But
Yeah, but $5,000,
Well, yeah.
you hit
a lot of
that
money, right?
$5,000, you have to hit that even as an indie guy.
Yeah.
Why? You buy a computer of $1,000 or $2,000. You have to hit $5,000.
Yeah.
If you keep it under $5,000, call it an expensive hobby.
Yeah.
Totally.
And
What were you thinking of the other engine you were saying?
the other one I forget now.
Torque?
Yeah, Torque engine.
Oh God, Torque.
Yeah.
Not in the
okay,
present.
I have the same feeling.
No,
I have the same
Not
feeling.
even a thought.
For me, it's
Why? What are the issues?
totally right
I'm
off.
asking.
Oh.
It's horribly difficult to use.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
really sloppy, and Unity is basically come in and eat their lunch completely.
Yes.
At one point, they didn't even have a level editor. I'm sorry, but we were trying to use Quark to make it work, and I eventually just started drilling holes in my forehead.
Yeah, don't
The
waste your
stars
time.
are just starting to clear.
When I was investigating this, I went on a board 2 years ago when I saw Unity at GDC, and I knew of it, but I said, okay, Unity or Torque, and overwhelmingly everybody at
Yes.
GDC is like, Unity, Unity,
Yeah,
don't bother
yeah.
with
Yes.
Torque.
Right on.
I worked with Torque, and
God,
then
yeah.
I discovered Unity, and it was like,
We were forced to use
wow,
it.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. It
But
just
they
kills.
still have the market of the 2D Torque. They lost that 3D market. Do you know the two top guys from Torque left to go work at Unity?
Oh, very good.
Well, they were basically selling two separate packages. There was Torque 3D and Torque 2D. And you
Yes.
had to make these decisions as to which one you were going to
Well, there were
invest
more
in.
than that, weren't there? I thought
Oh
there was
yeah.
like-
Yeah.
Then you had to buy the
There
suite
was
of
Torque
tools.
X. There was
Torque was $120. Then you needed to buy Show Pro Tool Plus or something, so
Yeah.
that the artist could basically prototype the actions and triggers. Then the programmers would introduce them. So without the benefit of a level editor, you were. And then there was
That's
other
what Torque
tools.
Game
too.
Builder was. That was their level editor.
Yeah,
yeah,
You
yeah.
need to buy this thing.
Yeah.
It was very confusing.
Yeah. for
And
sure.
Unity is still a little confusing because of the iPhone version and the standard version, and a lot of people are confused. That's why they make only one version,
Yeah.
and depends on what you pay, more possibilities are possible for the build. So, but the other one you told me there, the
UDK. Yeah.
UDK, they are a small team at 7 guys, and it's hard to compete with Unity, where 70 people.
Yeah.
And the guy who's actually the program, the chief technology guy, he has to still to travel to do the presentation and sales and marketing. So all the days he's out to try to sell it, they're not producing,
Right.
they're not developing. So
Oh yeah, I don't think they can compete.
no,
There's nothing stopping Unity now,
no.
except for plugin adoption.
Well, Unity, the Pro version, you can implement plugins. All it's phenomenal with that.
Oh, I mean in the browser. The plugin adoption in the browser.
Yeah,
But
that is. But what they're doing now is they are talking to Steam.
Okay.
So when people would download their game, it automatically downloads also the plugin installer.
Nice, nice.
So they're working with that. They're trying to talk to the browser companies to automatically integrate their plugin also.
Well, they say the conversion rate is 85%. So that's 85% of people who hit a page that says download the Unity plugin, 85% do.
Wow,
So
that's huge.
It's pretty good.
It's very huge,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, because they have an average 2 million users installing the Unity plugin a month.
I heard that stat. It's awesome.
That is, that's, I think they will be the flash for the games in the 2D.
Oh, for sure. And for 2D, if they come
Yeah.
up with the 2D thing.
It's
Yeah.
I'm very impressed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And for me, it's been a ball. Like I literally started with Unity. I can tell you how I started. I had to fly to Australia. I bought it the day before I flew to Australia and learned Unity while I was flying on the flight to Australia. And when I flew back, I figured out my iSign. And if you look at my Facebook, I did some of my updates and uploads in the airport. I logged in, I flew, made an update, landed, uploaded my update to the iTunes store.
Nice.
So it's so easy, and that was for me because I used to work at Source Engine, and I called them, and well, we can give it for $100,000 to you. I could not turn to my wife and say, honey, you're gonna take your $100,000 out to just try something. But now, what I find interesting is now we have the indie guys, but now the indie guys become also the student, and that's why my school is about, is that as a student, you should be an indie guy already, trying to develop your games, you make your content. Hey, imagine how you want in class a tank. Well, make a tank game. Integrate it, hey, put a script onto the shooting. There's an interesting pack out, it's called First Person Shooter Pack. For $15 for the or $30 for the iPhone, for the Unity engine, and what it is basically, it gives you all a huge array of different guns and different possibilities of shooting effects, and you just drag and drop your gun that you modeled in it, and you pick the shooting thing you want. It has ladders, everything the same layout as in Half-Life 2 or in Counter-Strike, and bang, press the play button, and you're busy.
They've got one called the Proto Pack as well, where they're not as mocked up as those characters, but they're cool little dudes. But they've got a bunch of cycles in them, like a run cycle, a walk cycle, a zombie walk cycle. It comes with a couple of vehicles, like a car with wheels that turn when it drives around, an airplane, and a few sets like bridges and roads and stuff. The whole idea is you pay it's like $15 one off.
Yeah.
You pay that so that you'll have assets if you're not great with Max or Maya, and just slap shit together.
And also very interesting is it called Mixamo.
Oh, I don't know them.
Mixamo is very interesting. It's Mix Emotion basically, Mixamo, and I work with them in San Francisco. We integrated all finger motion capture for them. And what they do is they record tons of motion. Every day they record motion capture non-stop, but they all make it game-friendly, cyclable. So they have, and it's very cheap. Like for $100, you have a whole game pack with all different walk cycles, shooting cycles, and you buy for your game. And then you can submit for specialized motions. You have to pay a lot more. But all those motions they make, they put it on later on online. They have for tigers, they have for cats, they have kung fu actions, they have all those motions are there.
Yeah.
Just buy them. And the cool thing in Unity is that you can share your animations in if your characters are the same structure. And then Unity, Mixamo made a plugin. You have your character that you made in Max or in Maya, upload it. They're gonna ask, select now what is what, like what is the upper arm, lower arm, automatically retargets for you. You get the character in the viewer, and then you have sliders to adjust the motions like more tired, more cycle, faster, slower. And it's like for $100 you have a whole game pack.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's also worth mentioning too that Unity handles native files for Cheetah 3D and Blender, which is totally free. Cheetah's like $400.
Yes.
Max and Maya are $4,000.
Yes.
So you could use the cheapy programs, and some of them do as good a job. You know, it's this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take that.